Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another Trophy Talk Tuesday Trophy Talk, Trophy Update, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, today's date is Tuesday, April the 8th of 2025, so this will have covered the week of April the 1st through the 7th of 2025. This was a reasonably productive week overall, no major complaints about the progress made. I mean, I guess I wish I could have gotten maybe a little bit more progress, but hey, it's all good. We got a Platinum Trophy, we made progress in 2 other games. So, first game on the list was Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves for the PS5. I actually have not started the PS4 version yet, even though I probably should go ahead and do that at some point soon. Anyway, so this is probably the hardest of the modern, well, new Sly trophy lists, I guess you would say. Definitely the hardest one, because Sly 1 really isn't that bad. I mean, even with some of the Master Thief challenges being annoying, it's not too bad. And then Slide 2 is all around probably the simplest or easiest one overall, even though it does add in new miscellaneous trophies. So to get this Platinum Trophy, a bunch of the trophies are going to be tied to completing all the jobs in each episode, of which there are 6 total episodes and quite a few levels. And then alongside all of those different areas and all those jobs to finish, you also have to complete all the Master Thief challenges, which are basically usually little parts of different jobs that are just shortened to like one single objective that you have to get through. And this might be something like you have to get through this part with maybe half the health meter that you normally start with, or you have to get through a part in a certain amount of time, or you have to take out this number of enemies here, stuff like that. So most of the challenges are not that hard, especially with the rewind feature. But there's a few that can be a little bit obnoxious to get through, that's for sure, especially like some of the boss ones, especially when you have like less health, or a couple of the speed runs are also kind of tight timing, though again, not typically too bad when you have the rewind feature. And then just, there's a couple of really difficult boss fights in this game. The General Sal fight in episode 4 is pretty annoying. He also has a rather annoying miscellaneous trophy that we'll get to later. And then the final boss is just like a massive, massive difficulty spike. I don't remember him being that bad on the PS3 or Vita versions of the game. So then we also have miscellaneous trophies in several jobs from each episode, usually about 3 miscellaneous trophies per episode. So in episode 1, you have to destroy 5 hanging signs during the part where you play as Carmelita, which is pretty easy. Then you have to defeat 3 guards with water traps. It doesn't have to be 3 with the same one or 3 at the same time. It's just 3 total kills with it. Then you have to fail to pass a guard with each of the 3 disguises in the game. You can't do this until you get to episode 5, because that's where you get the pirate outfit. And then you start out with like the Italian mob outfit, and I can't remember what you get between those, but you get one other outfit. Then we get off to episode 2, the Guru one. This one's just a little bit tougher because certain guards don't seem to count for this. So I think I got it on the guys that had the guns, that were carrying the guns, or I might have gotten it on one of the other types of characters. I'm honestly not really sure because it's been several weeks since I got the trophy. Then this one is very, very easy. During this one specific job, just jump onto Carmelita's tail when she grows to be gigantic. It's very, very simple. And then this one's a little bit annoying simply because the Be the Ball power-up isn't really the most powerful, and some of the guards in this area are actually pretty annoying to kill. So just be a little bit careful with this one. It's not too hard, but it is just maybe a little bit more annoying than it probably needed to be. Then we get to episode 3. Getting on the radar dish is super easy. You just climb up to it as Sly. Dropping a plane on a guard is also very easy. You do it in the same area in the airfield. Just guide someone underneath it and drop the plane on them. And then this one is pretty annoying. You have to defeat Mugshot without taking damage during a specific job. And that can be a little bit tough just simply because Mugshot has a pretty fast-firing gun the way he did in the first Sly game. So a lot of people were saying, like, maybe try to hide on the buildings and around the buildings and stuff like that. I eventually got it without that, mostly by sort of circling the well, but I had to keep rewinding consistently because it just kept hitting me. So definitely one of the tougher miscellaneous trophies there. Then you have a fairly easy one as Murray, though this one does take a little bit to get through, and you're definitely going to be using the rewind feature a lot because you have to use the ball bounce to get him up there. Or that's, as far as I know, that's the only way to do it, but there's probably another way that I don't even know about. Then this one isn't too bad, just a specific job where you have to get through it without taking damage. I think that might be the one where he's carrying back the team van, but I could be wrong on that. Whatever job it is, it's not awful, just especially with the rewind feature, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And then you have to defeat General Sal without taking damage in the laptop retrieval job. You have to fight him twice for that matter. And the first fight's the one where you're up on the bamboo sticks or whatever it is, and you like float across the arena and change directions. That part's not too hard because you only have to hit him like 6 times, and you have the rewind feature, and the rewind feature doesn't void anything, thank God. But then the second phase of the fight when you're down in the forest is really, really annoying because he has that hand attack where the hands will just like chase you around and they're really hard to dodge, or the masks that'll shoot at you if you try to climb up the trees. So definitely one of the more annoying trophies right there. Then you have to break 4 chests in this one episode 4 mission. That's very, very easy. I think there's even more than 4 anyway. Then this one, Crusher, is sort of a mid-boss during episode 5. You just have to get through that fight without Panda King or Sly taking damage, which isn't too hard, especially once again with Rewind. Obtaining the rank of Dread Pirate was one of the last trophies I got, and it takes about 80 to 90 enemy ships being taken out, so it does take a while. You're going to be doing a lot of ship-to-ship combat anyway, just to get coins for one of the later trophies, but this one can potentially take even longer because you need, like, again, 80 or 90 or so. Then you get off to episode 6, which is the big final heist mission, and you have to remove 30 cobwebs, which is very, very easy. They're all over the place. This one you can only do during the story. I think it was the last trophy I got for the Platinum, and you just have to look at a specific computer in the Cooper Vault with your Binocucom, and you'll get this trophy. And you have to complete that particular job without taking damage, which again really isn't that bad thanks to the rewind feature. Nothing insane there, it's just a very, very long mission. Then you have a miscellaneous trophy for each of our 3 main characters. Defeat guards with 5 different power-ups. As Murray, he has more than 5 different power-ups, it's just going to take a while to purchase all of them. Dropping a bomb in 5 pockets, this was legitimately something I didn't even know you could do in this game. It's like you hold triangle while going up behind an enemy as Bentley, and he'll reverse pickpocket a bomb into their pocket. So I don't know if Fallout got that idea from this, or if this got the idea from Fallout, I don't know. But yeah, that was very interesting because I didn't know you could do that. Then you have the same trophy that you had in Sly 2 here, where you have to pickpocket 5 pieces of loot without being detected as Sly. Though, I can't remember if the original, if Sly 2 it was like you had to do it all like 5 in a row, versus this one it might just be 5 total. Very, very easy, though, because you're allowed to kill the enemies afterward. Just, be careful not to get caught. You have to pickpocket loot with each of the 3 main characters. Sly's is pretty self-explanatory. With Bentley, you use that basically fishing rod with a magnet on the end. And then Murray, you have to, pick the people up and then shake them over your head, which is kind of funny. And then you have to obtain all the power-ups. We'll come back to that in a second. View the gallery for all episodes is pretty self-explanatory. Just look at the gallery for each episode, which you don't get each one until after you finish each episode. Obtaining all the power-ups takes quite a while in this game because you need well over 10,000 coins, and I feel like there's just a lot less incentive to go explore and pickpocket in this game, simply because there's no collectibles out in the open world. It's really just, coins that you can get from enemies and from destroying things. And you can still loot treasures from enemies, but you're not going to be doing it as much just simply because there's not as much incentive to explore. The main way you're going to be making money is by doing ship-to-ship battles during the pirate chapter, so that's episode 5. And every time you take out a pirate ship, you get anywhere from 100 to 300 coins, especially if you decide to capture it. So it's by far the best way to make money, but you are going to need to grind that for a while to get this trophy. And then there were a handful of challenges, like I said, that were pretty difficult. The ones where you had either a really, really tight time limit every now and then, or certain boss fight ones where you had to get through them usually with half health or within a time limit. A big one was the final boss fight against Dr. M or whatever his name is, because his boss fight is just a massive, massive difficulty spike for no good reason. So that one got very, very frustrating during the streams, but I did eventually get through it. And again, with the rewind feature, it's not too bad. I'd still say this game is probably a 3-ish out of 10 in difficulty, as long as you're using the rewind feature. Maybe a 3.5 out of 10 at most. I wouldn't put it really any above that because of the rewind feature. If you don't use rewind, it's probably more like a 4, maybe even closer to a 5, just simply because of a few of those challenges and a few of those miscellaneous trophies. Though it's still not anything super, super insane compared to some of the Platinums out there. So then, I also made progress in LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, on the PS4. I completed Episode 6, so all the story missions are now done. And then all those were done. I haven't done a super story yet, so still need to do that. I can knock both of those out with the Episode 4 super story. Then I already did the character and mini-kit bonuses, get all the gold bricks. I'm nearly done with the gold bricks in, I think, both A New Hope and Empire, or at least in A New Hope, I know I'm pretty close to being done with them. Haven't really touched Return of the Jedi yet. Already did the Lego City level because once you complete it, you start getting like 100,000 studs for every gold brick you collect. After that point, which is not as helpful as it could have been because by that point, at most, you're going to have 39 gold bricks left. But that's still, quite a bit of extra money that can help you get to that multiplier that you need, or the amount that you need to purchase the multipliers. I haven't bought a ghost character yet, saving that for when I have more money. I have not held 6 million studs at once, but I think once I do all the gold bricks, I should be pretty close, if not actually fully have 6 million by that point. I'll be close to it, though. Then haven't done a couple other bonus levels yet. Haven't purchased all the characters or vehicles yet, because again, it's a money thing. And for this one, of course, you definitely want to make sure that you get all of the multipliers first, and then just sort of sit under the stud fountain once you get all 99 gold bricks, because you can get the 99 gold bricks and then just sit under the fountain to collect infinite studs, but it does take a while in this game because the economy in this one's kind of busted compared to some of the others. So, should have this game done relatively soonish, though me and some other people are working on a collectible guide for the game for PSN Profiles, so I don't know how long that's going to take to transcribe everything into that, but we'll see. And finally, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on the PS4. So this came up a little bit out of nowhere because the Rush Hour trophy was finally fixed. I don't know why it took them like 4 months or 5 months and 3 full seasons to fix it, but they actually did fix it. So I figured it would be a good time to go ahead and play the game before they inevitably manage to break something else or break one of the other Call of Duty games. Because at different points now within the last 6 months, Black Ops 6 has become unobtainable at one point. Ghosts was unobtainable at one point, though I think they might have fixed that one. Vanguard was unobtainable at one point, but they did fix that, and Ghost was only like one version of it. Black Ops 3 PS3 is still unobtainable and will probably never be fixed because it should have never been released in the first place. Black Ops 2, I'm assuming, will never be fixed either. But other than those two, all the other platinums should still be doable unless some of these other broken trophies are still broken. So I guess just the question is, what are they going to manage to break next? I've made this joke before in the streams, but I swear I think it's gotta be true, at least with certain companies, mainly with Ubisoft, because Ubisoft has that weird habit of randomly shutting servers off and turning on other random servers every few months for some reason, and sometimes on different consoles. It makes absolutely no sense why they do it, and there's no logic or pattern to it. But they'll just randomly bring servers back online after being down for years, and then just take something else randomly offline and make it stop working, like what they did with Far Cry 4 with being broken for a while, but then bringing back one of the Assassin's Creed games. None of it makes any sense, but for some reason they seem to do it, and I just joke that they've got some kind of intern whose only job is to go into a room with all the server switches in it, and every couple of months he has to flip one switch off and one switch on for the multiplayers. I swear that's gotta be something that's actually going on, like a social experiment or something. And I'm starting to think it's the same thing with Activision when it comes to Call of Duty, because I don't know why it took them that long to fix that. Well, then again, Infinite Warfare never got fixed. It still has the Broken Dominion trophy, but you can still get it with a workaround at least. Anyways, I'm close to completing the campaign on Veteran. I only have 2 missions left, but I've actually been doing my Mike Banning challenge along the way. And shockingly, even with the limited equipment, I've been able to complete 8 of the first 9 missions on Veteran. And the one that I didn't do was Bishop Takes Rook, even though it's a short one, just because you don't really start with any weapons that count in that challenge. And I've also been taking a lot of liberties with what might count in this one. So this run has been kind of an overall failure, because in all honesty, just this game was not very kind to me with the weaponry on a lot of the missions. But that's okay, because it's actually been kind of fun to play through this game again. This game actually has a pretty solid campaign, even though it's a very weird campaign at times, especially a few of the missions. But yeah, aside from the very first mission, I was able to get through the next 8 on Veteran under challenge conditions, which I'm definitely a little bit proud of. Bishop takes Rook is the first mission. It's very easy. Blood Feud isn't too bad. Breaking news: this one is not a whole lot of combat for the most part until the very end. It's the one where you're in the Bill Clinton rally. Then hunting season is extremely long. This is one of the longest missions in Call of Duty history if you go after all the objectives. And the Cradle is immediately after that and can't be played on its own, I don't think, until maybe you finish the game. Then Emergence, this one, I don't actually... Oh, wait, no, this is the really weird, mind-trippy one. I mean, they even reference it in the trophy name. This is the one where you have to randomly fight zombies and zombie bosses. Then High Rollers is the casino heist type mission, which is really, really fun. Definitely one of the best missions in the game. Ground Control is the one, I think this is the one where this is the one where you go to the airport and you get in a tank at one point. And yeah, and then under the radars, the one where you go undercover is Sev, and you can like take out the 3 different targets that the Soviets have, or no, not Soviets, the Pantheon or so. I don't remember if it's Pantheon or Soviets at this point, because as much as I like this campaign, the story gets really weird at times, especially in these last 2 missions. Separation Anxiety and Checkmate sort of play through at the same exact time. So those are gonna be interesting to go through again, because I remember them being super trippy, like Black Ops 3 levels of weird. This trophy's actually pretty easy. Just keep in mind it takes place over the course of a huge chunk of the mission, not just the very beginning of it. I also actually managed to assassinate the dude when you're in the sniper tower. I managed to assassinate him with a pistol, which was pretty neato that it actually lets you do that. I mean, a lot of the COD games probably wouldn't. This one's pretty easy. You just have to be a little bit careful about it. There's 5 or 6 different guards you can easily do this on. Just wait till they get alone and hide in a sort of off-limits area. No way in hell I was trying to do this one on Veteran while also doing a banning challenge, or even on Veteran again in general, because last time it took like 2.5 hours when I did it that way, and did do it, but it was not fun. This one's very easy. You just have to hack a certain computer and take out a certain target in a certain way, pretty much. This one I probably could have gone for, but again, Banning's never driven a tank before, so that wouldn't have counted for the challenge. And I actually got through it. I think I inadvertently ran over one person, but you could have gotten through it without running over any, so I consider that part a success. This is the very last mission of the game, of course. That's a very easy one. Purchase all the upgrades just takes time and money grinding, as you can see by the percentage. The safe house puzzles are not overly crazy. I just don't know how to do them and wasn't going to look up the solution in the middle of a stream. This one, there's a few different places you can do it. This one you can do during the final mission. It's probably the best place to do it. Form 10 takedowns is basically unmissable. The score streak one, I believe you can do in that giant open mission where you have to take out all the different POIs. So then, enter Prestige 1. This trophy actually did not immediately auto-pop. In order to get it to auto-pop, I had to go into the barracks and the Prestige progress, and that's what made it auto-pop. So thanks to everyone in the chat that told me that when I was streaming the game, because I didn't want to have to go grind through that again, but thankfully it auto-pops that way. These 2 trophies auto-pop just by loading into the game's multiplayer for the first time, which is great because they're both quite grindy. The 500 eliminations does not auto-pop after doing 1, surprisingly, but I mean 500 isn't really a lot in a Call of Duty game. Winning 25 matches, this one will auto-pop after 1 win, and it does backwards auto-pop, as you can see, so it both forwards and backwards auto-pops. This is, of course, the trophy that was broken for so long, but thankfully it's now doable. I just haven't gotten lucky enough with it yet. This one sucks for me because even though a ton of people have this trophy, I just can never seem to get the best play, because even in games where I end up getting a really good like triple or quad feed, it always gives it to someone else, even if their kills looked less impressive overall, because the games just don't like me that much. The training course is very, very easy. That takes like 5 minutes. I don't know why I haven't... God, that's a really rare trophy for how simple it is. This one, I think I do have to re-level up to like 41 or something to get the Sleeper Agent again, which kind of sucks because I don't think I used my permanent unlock on it. This one you only have to do 1 of, as with this one, so just do 1 of each of these and you'll end up popping both of these trophies. Thankfully for the UAV one, because this one is really, really annoying, just it takes forever, and I think it was bugged. This one's super easy though. And then in the zombies mode, you have to complete the Easter egg on Terminus, you have to consume a fish in a certain way, and then find the talisman, which was a slightly annoying quest, but nothing too crazy. And then in Liberty Falls, you have to complete the Easter egg, you have to do the supervillain Easter egg, and you have to do the bowling Easter egg. Liberty Falls, of course, being the easier of the two maps. And you can do the guided mode now, the directed mode, thankfully, which makes life a lot easier. Because I did everything. I did the Easter egg on Liberty Falls without it. It wasn't that bad, but, I mean, being able to do it, make it easier for myself, I'm definitely down for that. Then this one, I'm wondering if it might auto-pop. I wouldn't be surprised if it auto-pops after one, but even if it doesn't, it's not really hard. Thank God this one auto-pops, because that saves about a solid 20 to 30 hours of grinding in this game, so that literally cuts the platinum time in half. And then 100 elite zombie eliminations. Again, I'm hoping that this one auto-pops after doing one, because that's actually going to be quite grindy otherwise. Because I think it's, yeah, the manglers don't actually count for this. It has to be the three-headed ones, or whatever the things are on Terminus, I believe, are the only ones that count. So, yeah, Black Ops 6, made some decent progress on it. Don't know exactly how long it'll take me to get the platinum. Kind of depends on the zombies stuff and how determined I am to play the zombies mode. So let's go ahead and sync on up trophies. Alright, level 892, 61%, 30,125 total trophies, 864 platinums, 5,759 golds, 8,109 silvers, 15,393 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. This week's going to be a little bit different from normal because I actually have to go on a business trip on Thursday and Friday, so I leave on Thursday morning and I don't get back until pretty late on Friday night, flying up to Boston. It's honestly closer to being like a paid company retreat type of thing more than anything else. But in all honesty, I mean, gets me out of having to do the normal work for 2 days. It's basically like a vacation. A big chunk of it's just socializing and making connections. And it's all fully paid for by a drug company, which is pretty neato. So, yeah, definitely going to go do that. I will definitely let you guys know any interesting tea that comes out of that, as I have in previous streams with my line of work. But yeah, super excited for that. I think it's going to be fun, but obviously for Thursday and Friday I will not be streaming. So probably we'll try to stream tomorrow if I have time and am, you know, not too tired and already packed and stuff. That's for Wednesday, and then at least we will definitely stream on Saturday, Sunday of this coming week, unless like some other plan comes up, like a date or something, so I guess we'll see with that. But the main thing to stream this week, I honestly don't know yet. Like, one more stream probably of Black Ops 6, just to not only finish the challenge run, even though it's a failure, but mostly to grind trophies in it, and just work towards some of the other trophies. And then alongside that, I could stream more of LEGO Star Wars, but I don't think I'm going to do that until probably I get closer to the Platinum. Just quite simply because I already streamed that for like 2 weeks straight. I want to mix up the games a little bit more. One potential big possibility is the RoboCop game, because that one just went free on PS Plus. I'm actually definitely excited to play that one, because I believe it's made by the same people that made, or I know it's made by the same people that made Terminator Resistance. Though I think it's also getting DLC, so part of me just kind of wants to wait. And then another one is College Football 25. I'm going to be interested to play that because I am terrible at sports games, and it could be quite interesting to see me try to suffer through that kind of a platinum. So, I don't know what we'll do with all that in terms of videos that I've been working on. Didn't make much progress in the LEGO Star Wars 2 video. It's probably like, I don't know, 5% of the way done at this point, but I should be able to progress faster if I really need to. So, yeah, working on that one slowly, but I'll get through it eventually. Hopefully, I can just really buckle down and work on that one in the upcoming future. Because, again, the streams did really well, so I wouldn't mind going ahead and just trying to get that finished and get it out sooner. But otherwise, that is going to be it for this video, so thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't done so already. Let me know down in the comments what you guys have been working on this week. And I guess that's pretty much it. So I will see y'all back here hopefully on Wednesday and at latest over the weekend for some more streams. And I'm sure there'll be a video out while I'm gone as well.